Obviously, thanks for coming to join our Sanato Tijarat talks. Appreciate it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm just going to share my screen. And oh, why is it not showing? Here we go. Okay. Generally, I hope you can all see that. So obviously, our mission here. What's going on here? There we go. So, mashallah, we've got a whole variety of guests today listening in. Obviously, we want to promote employment. We want to improve your career. We want you to be able to stand on your own 2 feet financially. And that's the purpose of these talks. So please do send in any requests. We've got a whole brand new schedule now for the next 3 months of talks. I'll share that with you in a moment. Yeah, do share with us in the chat any ideas you have, anything that you feel that you want help with. That's the purpose that we're here for. We do have experts in their fields who give these talks. And for those that are regulars, there's been a lot of very useful businesses that are being developed and employment. There's people are finding jobs, so very useful. Imran Sab, can you let the people in who are in the waiting room, please? Oh, well, thank you. So, mashallah, today, actually, before I introduce our guest, I'm just going to talk about the next few weeks. We've got a number of specialists talking about job seeking. We've got investment portfolio planning. We've got the trades, how to find jobs. So there's lots of good stuff coming. And then also, I just want to mention that this week on the 11th, I think on Sunday, that is, 3 till 8 p.m. in Tahir Hall in Bethel Fatu Mosque, there's career guidance. So if you're 16, 17, 18, even in your early career, you can come and talk to experts, lawyers, engineers about the pathways, how they got to, how to become a professional, whether it's plumbing, whatever it is. We'll have experts there to give you some tips. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over to respected Khalid Mahmood Saab, who has been a Sadr, my Sadr, very sociable person, very knowledgeable, expert. He's obviously the CEO of his own company, experience in wealth planning, finance, and today he's going to be giving us a masterclass on pension planning. So, उनके लिए दुआ में याद रखना उनको और बिस्मिल्लाह करें. If you can, you welcome to take over, Khalid Saab.
Jazakallah Aslimullah Kalusab, and for the introduction. But importantly, I am not Sadr anymore. So yeah, previously term, yes, I was your Sadr. Jazakallah for introduction. Okay, let me share the screen. So today's topic is pension planning. What are we going to cover in here? Okay, can everybody see that pension planning my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what today's sessions covers: how pensions work in the UK, why pension planning is essential, common mistakes and real-life case studies, retirement options and tax efficiency, how professional advice adds value. So what is pension? A pension is a long-term saving plan designed to provide income in retirement. The key benefits are tax relief on contributions, employer contribution where applicable, long-term investment growth, flexible income options at retirement. This is a definition of pension. Why pension planning matters? So retirement can last 25 to 30 plus years. So now next year, the next financial year, the retirement age will be 67, and you see people's are living longer. One of the study is that whoever touches age 80, 25% chances are he's going to touch 100. So that means if it touches 100, that means 33 years he's non-working. So he needs some income, a decent income to survive. So that's why the retirement planning is very important. The state pension alone is rarely sufficient. State pension for this year is about £1,000 if you have fully contributed. So that is not enough if you see when you become older. Inflation erodes spending power over time. Early planning provides flexibility, security, and peace of mind. The main three pillars of the pension system in the UK, we can discuss about that today. Number one is state pension, then workplace pensions, and personal pensions, or SIPs. SIPs mean self-invested personal pensions. So we start with state pensions. The state pensions and national insurance contribution. So the full state pension for 2025 and 26 is £230 and 25p per week, which is about £1,000 or £997 per month. So it requires 35 qualifying national insurance contributions. That means that you need to be fully paid NI contribution for whole year, or sometimes 6 months as well, to qualify for that year. So minimum is 10 years, and if you are your contribution is less than 10 years in your career, then you're not going to get any state pension. So the gap can reduce entitlement significantly. So for example, if your working life here is 30 or 40 years and you have a gap years, so that can decrease your state pension. So which can be paid by voluntary NI contribution. That can cover the shortfalls. So national insurance credits and child benefits. So national NI credits are awarded to the person receiving child benefits. So that means that husband and wife, for example, whoever is receiving child benefit, he can get 12 years of NI contributions. Now, either he is working or not, he can get NI credit. So common mistakes in many families that usually if husband and wife both are working, then it's fine. If, for example, one person is not working, so then what they do is the person who is working, he held everything on his name. And the person who is not working is not getting any credit. So that credit can be transferred from Mr. to Mrs. or Mrs. to Mr. as well. And incorrect allocation can mean zero state pension for one spouse. So that is very important to check your NI contribution. Case studies. Case study, Ahmed and Aisha, for example. Ahmed is 57. This is a real, more or less real case study, as I have experience of meeting people. So that is more or less real cases. Ahmed and his wife, Aisha, Ahmed is 57, Aisha is, for example, is 51, moved to UK in 2000, as most of the people came from Pakistan. And Aisha has always been a homemaker, and they have 3 children. Ahmed has been self-employed for 25 years and had always claimed child benefit himself. This is a normal scenario. Most of the families who came from Pakistan or other countries, usually their wives are housewives, and everything comes into the mister's account. So when they checked by submitting their BR19 form to the HMRC, they checked that his wife has a 0 year of NI contribution. That means she will not qualify for a state pension. So following my advice, Ahmed transferred child benefits into Aisha's name, giving her 19 years of NI credit. So how she get the 19 years? Because one child can give her a 12 years of NI contribution. But obviously the second child was born after the 2 years or 3 years. And so total it will be 19 years of credit she got. And following advice, Ahmed transferred child benefit into Aisha's name, giving her 19 years of NI credits. And now she is also paying voluntarily NI contribution to build up the remaining years. So that means she can get, at the age of 67, a full state pension, which is, for this year, is £230.25. Now, these pensions, state pensions, they are increasing every year. For example, next financial years, they have already decided and announced as well that it's going to be, I think, 4.1 or 4.2% will increase for the year 26 and 27. So this is about state pension. So the key learning here is incorrect child benefit assignment can cost decades of pensions entitlement. So check early and consider voluntary contribution. So anyone have any question at this stage? Khalusab or anyone else?
Yes, Khalid, how much are the voluntary? I mean, can you make as much voluntary contributions as you? Is it worth paying them?
Okay, the voluntary contribution for self-employed, which comes under, I think, class 2, and it is £3.50 per week.
Oh, so
So
that's
that
worth
means,
it.
yeah, for self-employed, yes. And for a employed is £17 and I think 75 pence per week. So that's something like 900 or £1,000, which is still worth it.
Okay. What happens to a pension if a partner passes away?
If a partner passes away, depending on what age, if before the national retirement age, then these contribution goes with them. So the child benefit only can be transferred from one to another one. We're talking about just the state pension. We're not talking about the other pensions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So when we come to that point for the other pensions, then we can discuss about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, Khalid Sahab. I have a question, if I may.
Yes.
So, the state pension, is there a way to, I think you mentioned it earlier on, is there a way to check, like for somebody at my kind of age, where we are and if we are in deficit, or is there a way to check?
The BR19 form, you can download from the Google or HMRC website and just print out your name, sign it, and send it to HMRC for you and for your spouse. And they usually are very quick. Within a week or 10 days, they will reply you.
BR19. So there's nothing that we can check online. We need to write to them.
Yes, you can check online as well.
Okay.
If you are registered on a HMRC, you can check there as well.
Okay.
But the best option is BR19.
Good. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Khalid, Maz Hayat is asking, can you backdate previous years of child benefits so it's in the missus's name?
Yes, you can backdate it, yes.
Okay. Zubair is asking, sorry.
Yes.
Zubair is asking, I called the tax office to make up the deficit in NI contributions for some years, but they've not contacted me. Do I need to do anything?
You can, for voluntary contribution.
No, there are gaps in my national insurance record.
Okay. So if you have gaps, then you can go back, I think, 6 years now. So from 2019 and 20 onward, if you have gaps, that can be filled up. Prior to that, it is not possible, not at this stage.
No, I called them last year, because up till I think April last year, you were able to make up the deficit for some years, going back a few years. But they have not contacted me yet, and I don't know why. Is that normal?
Well, Yes, you're right. Absolutely right. HMRC is like that. So you sometimes need to call them again and again, and then ask them to send that information to you. How to, how to pay the voluntary contribution. But because of now, it is 2019 onward, you can contribute. Prior to that, now is not possible.
All right, thank you.
I've got one last question, Khalid, before we move on to the next section.
Yes.
Somebody's asking that they've got a visa, but it says no recourse to public funds. Are they entitled to pensions or benefits?
How old is he?
Godri
50.
50. Okay. So you have 17 years to contribute into the NI contribution. And if you have visa now, even if you moved out to any other country, you still be able to get the state pension. The state pension is for anyone who has contributed NI in this country. And even us as well, if you want to move abroad after the retirement, yes, we can move abroad and we will be entitled to this state pension. And another thing is, even if you are a homeowner, if you have properties, if you have income, even if you are earning £1 million a year, you still get the state pension after the age of national retirement age. Yes. Wassalam.
You see, when I log into my HMRC account, I see there are some gaps in the last 2-3 years. I'm a higher taxpayer. I've got an accountant. When I ask my accountant why these gaps are, he says he doesn't know why these gaps are. And he says he has been sending all my taxes on time and there is no issue. So how do I find out why the gaps are showing up? And
HMRC is the best to do that. Depending on your high rate taxpayer, if you are earning from the properties, then usually it is not NI contributed. So some of the incomes are not NI contributed. In that case, you need to pay voluntarily. For self-employed, it's very cheap, £3.50, which is something like how much? 170, 180 pounds per year, and it is worth paying that.
yeah, I mean, I do have some property as well. Plus, I'm a doctor as well. So,
Okay.
is it because perhaps the gaps are showing because of the property income?
No, not necessarily. If you are earning as a doctor as well, and your income is as doctor also, then yes. If you are contributing NI,
Yes.
then yes, you should be credited, and you can talk to them. It's going to take time, you have to wait, but it's worth checking with HMRC. Sometimes I was checking for myself as well, and sometimes I have to wait half an hour, 45 minutes to talk to the right person. So, but it's worth. Okay. Slim, so should we move on?
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, the last question, then we move on to the next topic, and at the end, then obviously we have time, then we can talk about state pension. Yes.
Jazakallah, Khalid Saab. I just wanted to find out, you may have covered this, how many years can you go back for your spouse cover for the child benefit?
Yeah, you can go back.
How many years?
Oh, 20, 30 years you can go back.
Okay.
Check with them and then allocate or transfer the NI contribution to the spouse.
Only for one child or for many child?
All child.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jazakallah.
So each child is 12 years.
Okay.
Okay. Defined benefit ODB's pensions. These are workplace pensions. What DB pensions means that it is guaranteed income for life. It is kind of an annuity, and it is income for life. It is based on salary and length of services. It usually includes spouse pension as well, usually half or 2/3 or 66%, depending on the terms of the provider. It is usually inflation linked, and ill health benefits as well included in case if somebody got ill or disabled before the age of retirement. Now in these days mostly found in NHS, teachers, civil service, police, fire brigades. But before 2012, it was actually the large corporate companies were also offering the DB pensions as well. Now in these days, they're not offering to the new employees, but to those who were employed before, they are still contributing into the DB pensions. That is for the larger corporate companies. Now, DB case study. This is a real case study as well. Tony worked for the fire brigade. At age 56, he was diagnosed with cancer. He was divorced and his children were grown up, more than 18 years old. So he took early retirement and he took 100,000 as lump sum. That means 25% he took a lump sum and a 20,000 of yearly pension income. So, however, his DB pension had no death value. So DB pension, if there is no spouse or children are grown up, adults, then there is no death value. And the money goes back to the pension providers. So once he passes away, the income stops and no lump sum is paid to his children or his estate. So in a later review, it became clear that if Tony had transferred his DB pension to a defined contribution or SIP, his potential death benefit could have been around 500,000, which could have been passed to his estate. Now, in this case scenario, the person was diagnosed a terminal illness, and when he comes to me, he clearly said that I only have 2 years maximum, and but what he's getting is just £20,000 pension income. So the DB pension can be transferred to the DC scheme or into the SIP. That means that it will have a death value, and that value can be transferred to the estate or children or to the charity rather than giving it to the pension providers. So the key lesson, well, in that case, he did not take the financial advice. But key lesson is always seek financial advice before making any major pension decision, especially around DB to DC transfer. So this is defined benefit scheme. If any question about DB schemes?
There isn't any, but that is basically the message there is that definitely before retirement, if you should always seek financial advice. That's worth 500,000 right there.
Yes, that is a real case scenario. Yes, in case anything happened, God forbidden, to someone, and in Asians, a lot of are on a high risk of health. So in case anything happened, and they are having a DB, and they had a DB scheme, then they should seek a financial advice. This is very important. Okay, let's go. Not a lot of people now in these days have a DB schemes, but yeah, okay. Now, defined contribution pensions or DC pensions, it can be workplace pension. Now, in these days, as I mentioned earlier, the most of the companies are contributing into the pensions, and that is DC pensions. So your pension value depends on contributions, employer input, or investment performance. So the key features are flexible access from age 55 now and 57 from 2028. So can be passed to beneficiaries, greater control, but more responsibility. So what does it mean? That the defined contribution has a value of something, which can something happen to the beneficiary can be passed to the children or whatever his estate is. It will have a great control, but a responsibility as well. Responsibility in the sense of how to invest, where to invest, when to get benefit, how much to get benefits. So investment choices inside pensions can be aligned with risk tolerance, time horizon, ethical preferences, for example, ESG, so faith-based principle, for example, Sharia-compliant. So the investments in the pensions, it could be invest in a ESG or a Sharia-compliant as well, and also in the open market. It can also be invest in the properties, commercial properties. So ESG investment means the focus on companies that meet strong environment, social, and governance standards. It considers how business impact the environment, treat employees and communities, and are governed ethically. Many investors choose ESG to align their investments with their value without compromising long-term returns. Islamic Sharia-compliant pensions, that means the pension investment will avoid the interest or riba, alcohol, gambling, tobacco, weapons, adult entertainment, or convention banking. So that means that those who are not, the investments are not in these will be looked at. Case study for pension consolidation or ODC pensions. Mr. Imran, 45, had accumulated multiple DC pensions, parts over 20 years of employment, 2 old workplace pensions, and 1 personal pension. Each had different investments, separate charges, and was difficult to track. Well, this is a common to every second person who is 45, 50, who has 2, 3 different jobs and has pension contribution somewhere here, there, or there. So the problem is, before seeking advice, Mr. Imran faced significant issues. For example, unknown total pension value, investments misaligned with his risk tolerance, and retirement goals. Risk tolerance means that usually when the workplace pensions are set up, they even don't call the client, and they're not bothered even calling the clients. So it's better, and they just invest in the medium or sometime to the higher, or sometime into the bit lower risk as well. And they only invest into their own investments funds which are available for themselves. So outdated beneficiary nominations, one pension held funds conflicting with his faith-based. So, for example, it is invested everywhere, so not Sharia compliant. So this disjoint approach risk for forgotten pensions and reduced long-term growth. So the solution is pension consolidation. After taking independent financial advice, Mr. Imran reviewed all existing pensions and checked for guarantees or penalties. None applied into that case, consolidated all pots into one modern low-cost pension or SIP, chose a new investment strategy aligned with his risk profile and retirement age, selected Sharia-compliant investments reflecting his values, updated his beneficiary nominations. The outcome was, following consolidation, clarity, and control, all pensions are now in one place, easy to monitor, improved strategy, investments are clearer and more suitable, better estate planning, clear updated death benefits for his family, simplicity, retirement planning is now more transparent and manageable. So Mr. Imran gained clarity, control, and confidence over his retirement savings. So key lessons are: multiple pensions can become inefficient and hard to manage. Consolidation can realign investments with goals and values. Always check for valuable guarantees or penalties before transferring. Professional financial advice is essential for a successful consolidation. So how much should you save? This is a question. So 12 to 15% of income is advisable. So start early to benefit from compound growth. Now the young people, especially Khuddams, they early, even mid-20s or late 20s as well, they're not bothered. Oh, pension, retirement is far away. But it's good to starting contributing when they start the job. Some of the companies are even offering, they can match the contribution. So for example, if you contribute 10%, they give you 10% as well. So 20% is a very decent amount of contribution, plus you are getting extra 10% of indirect income from the employer. So review regularly as income changes. Now, retirement options explained. You can take up to 25% tax-free cash. You can use flexi access drawdown, and annuity can be purchased for guaranteed income. Depending on situation, if he wants to buy annuity, can be bought. The right option depends on income needs, tax, health, and family situation. Common pension mistakes. They're not checking state pension records, leaving old pensions unreviewed, poor investment alignment, ignoring inheritance planning, making DB transfer decision without advice. Why financial advice matters? Avoid irreversible mistakes. For example, if you have in the DB scheme, once you have done that, you cannot reverse your decision. So optimize tax efficiency, align investments with goals, plan retirement income sustainably, integrate pensions with estate planning. Final thoughts: pension planning is not just about retirement, it's about peace of mind. Small decisions today can have life-changing outcomes later. Reviewing early gives you better options. So this is about pension planning. Just the pension planning in the UK is one of the complex in the world, and it is a huge topic. So I just covered some bit of it. So anyway, any question you can ask. You want to ask, you can ask.
So we've got a few questions. Zubair, do you want to go first? We've got a few questions I've got been sent to me.
My question is, I mean, I have pensions from different companies that I've been with, and it's difficult to know which company to, the investment, which investment company to put one's pension in. Even the financial advisor cannot estimate which way that pension fund is going to go. So how do we make that kind of decision?
Well, the future, obviously, no one knows about the future.
Right.
But the past performance can be checked when you are investing in any of the pension fund. The future, obviously, we don't know, but depending on your risk tolerance, we can assume some percentage and can make a report accordingly.
So is it best to take financial advice on that?
Yeah, you can take a financial advice on it, yes.
Assalamualaikum. Can I ask a quick question? There are some other type of pensions available as well, like SAS and SIP.
Yes.
So, I mean, what would you advise on those pensions, and is it more beneficial, you think?
Okay, SIP are very, very flexible. It is always, I mean, now in these days, mostly SIP is advisable. SAS is only when you want to invest in a commercial properties.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you can buy a commercial property in SIP as well, depending on how many directors or how many partners are in. But if it is directors, then SAS is advisable. Otherwise, SIP.
I think it could be that there is an age limit that when you can start drawing SIP and the SAS pension? There's a difference
Yes.
in the...
Yes, you can start withdrawing after the age of 55 now in these days, and 57 from 2028.
Okay, exactly.
Thanks, Khalid. So I've got a few questions here.
Yes.
I'm just going to summarize. Basically, you're saying, when should I start my pension? Early as possible. How much should I put into it? 12, 15%. Do you think do you think people should increase that or just go with the minimum?
Yeah, that is the minimum, but as much as you can contribute, especially when the employer is offering as well. Sometimes they offer match, or sometimes even some employers offering double. If you contribute 6%, they will contribute 12%. So why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Take the maximum from the employer.
There are a number of people that think, oh, I'd rather buy a house instead of making pension payments through my life. Would that be a better source of income? Is that something would you recommend, or you say no, stick with pensions, is more efficient?
Okay. Prior to 2012, buying a house as a pension was a very good idea, because that time the regulations were different. Then the Pension Freedom Act came in, and after that, the pension is more flexible than in the past. Now the taxation on properties are different and high as well. But again, it depends on person to person. If he prefer to invest in a property, then yes, he should invest in the property. So it depends on everyone's needs. If somebody is employed, it's a good idea to invest there as well in the pensions. Even self-employed, they can invest in a commercial property from a pension pot.
Okay, thank you. Now, what would you say to somebody that's concerned about inflation and their pension not being worth the amount in years to come, or are they index linked?
Okay, the DB schemes and state pensions are index linked. The DC pension, personal pension, or SIPs or SAS, they are not inflation linked. That is the thing which you need to have a risk tolerance accordingly, and investment performance he's looking accordingly. But if he buy annuity with the pension pot, then yes, it can be index linked.
And just for though, I mean, I'm learning as we're going along, but it sounds like an annuity is the pot that you've collected at the end of your pension. You buy this thing called an annuity, and it
Yes.
just pays.
So when, for example, you retired, today you are 67, for example, your pot value is, say, about £200,000. So you can buy with £200,000 annuity as well. Now, in these days, you can get something like 8,000 of income per year for life. Roughly about
Did you
4%.
pass that on?
No.
No. Okay. Once you buy the annuity, that's
yeah,
it.
Yeah. Only if your wife remaining after you passed away, then maybe 50% or 2/3 she can get. Otherwise, the rest of the money will go to the pension providers. So that is the drawback of annuity, yes. But those people who are risk averse and very low risk people, and they have a longevity trends in his family, then annuity can be a good option. Prior to 2012, annuity was only the one option that mostly people were taking. Now, in these days, annuities are not that popular. People are not taking annuities.
So what do they do with that money then at the end?
They
take
invest.
The money or invest it? Sorry?
They invest
into
the financial market.
S&P index or something. America. Okay, some investment. Okay.
These are funds, yes. Either it can be the open market, it could be ESG, it could be Shariah-compliant.
Okay, thank you. How much money should I have in my pension pot, or what should my pension pot be worth at retirement?
It depends on your income, or what exactly you have requirements in your, when you retire. So it depends on everyone's circumstances. For example, if husband and wife, they both are getting £2,000 of state pension, Sometimes they can say, okay, I'm fine with that. I don't need any money.
£2,000 a month?
A month, yeah. For
1,000 each, is it?
Yeah, yeah. For
Okay.
example, now in these days. So yeah, they can keep that pension pot for their rainy days, for in case in future if they need something, yeah, they can withdraw from them. That is also.
Jazakallah Khalid Saab, it's been very informative. We've got a cut-off in 5 minutes, so if anybody's got any questions, you better get them in.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Just a quick question, Khalid Saab, do you give any private consultation if we need to have one-to-one, meeting with regards to further advice on pension? Is
Yes,
it possible? Can we get your contact details?
yes, it is possible. Yeah, you can. Yeah, by telephone
How
number.
do we find your details then?
Salimullah Kalusab can give you that, or yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
TK.
Saab, I mean,
So someone has said, please see my 2 questions above. As high rate taxpayer, should I be concerned with the new NI tax on pension contribution over 2K? Should this change my perspective? Or the NI, if you're a high rate taxpayer, then £24,000 a year is fine. If you are earning more than £260,000 a year, then yes, there is some issues of that as well for pensions.
Do you say £260,000 a year?
Yeah, yeah. If it is above that, then the maximum contributions are limited after that. And okay, another question for please. Would you suggest moving old pensions to my latest pensions with new employer? Well, it depends on if you want to move one pension to another pension, then again it depends on where exactly it is invested. It is either aligned with your risk tolerance or your views, then yes. If not, then yes, you need to seek a financial advice. So there are so many other questions as well. I'm happy to answer offline as well if anyone wants to contact me.
Can I just ask one small question? It's more about the religious stance on this.
Yes, Farhan.
I just wanted to ask because for younger Ahmadis who are early in career, if we are being told about, for example, World War III, is there any advice from Jamaat perspective in terms of if it's worth opting out so you can have more money? And because some people say that you're not going to see your pension after so many years if the world's whole structure is going to change. So is there any advice on this matter?
Well, no one knows when it's going to happen. So either in our lifetime or after us, we don't know that, do we? So we need to plan what we can see now. That's my view, personal.
And I would add we should remain positive, bearing in mind obviously Hazrat Saab's guidance. So, okay, we've got last minute. We're going to finish at 45. Farhan's asked about opting out. What's the best method of joining my pensions received from multiple employers?
It's better to consolidate into one and then start claiming your benefits, whatever you need it.
Which is better, DC or DB?
And now in these days, DC, again, it depends actually. The regulator do not want DB to be transferred to DC until and unless there is a serious need. So those who have DB schemes, they should keep that. And yeah, the DB you cannot set up by your own. So you can set up only by your own DC schemes.
Jazakallah. I'm just going to take over the screen. Thanks, Khalid Saab. I don't think we have any more questions. We've answered most of the questions, all the questions.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
My name is Waqar Ahmad. I have a question regarding the drawdown. So if you have built up SIPs and you opt for drawdown, what is the maximum percentage yearly you can draw down, or is there no limit?
There's no limit. The limit is your own total value. It can be withdrawn in one day, one day in one lump sum, but we need to see either it is tax efficient or not. Number one thing. Secondly, do you really need it or not? That is the most important thing. But yes, that is your money. It can be withdrawn anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah.
Thanks, Khalid Sahib. May Allah Ta'ala reward you abundantly. Clearly, there's a lot to think about. There's a lot going on here. So thank you very much for that. Allah Ta'ala bless all your
Jazakallah.
efforts.
Jazakallah for bringing me here. And I offer everyone to feel free to call me. My number is, do you want to share here? I can triple 0.
So
It may be. Oh, okay, Jazakallah.
So this is my number, 07789728880. So feel free to call me. I can offer you free initial consultation, either face-to-face if it is necessary, other over the telephone. I'm happy to do that.
thanks everybody for joining. I'm just going to share one slide. Hopefully you can see this. This is this weekend, just to remind you that if you know any people who are just starting out in their career or looking to change their career, do come along on Sunday between 3 and 8 and be very informative. And also don't forget, next week we have Ahmed Muhammad Ehsan, who's going to be talking about a small business and around having your own driving school or becoming a driving instructor. So thank you very much. We will be uploading the sessions to YouTube, and inshallah see you all next week. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah.
Thank you
Assalamu
very much.
alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi